Hi, welcome to the revision video for A-Level English Language Component 2 Language Change Question 1A. The key thing in this question is that it is a question about spelling. And there are three things you need to do well in this question. And as it says on the question paper, you need to identify the word class and the archaic spelling pattern, and you need to use appropriate terminology. This is a short answer question, so there's no extra marks for long waffly answers. Get to the point. You need to know your word classes. If you don't know your word classes, which you should do by this point, if you don't, you have a terminology booklet, you have your own glossary, and you also have all the wonderful YouTube videos we've made on this channel. Other resources you might use to help you with this question are the Early Modern English Spelling Sheet, which is this. It's a good guide. As you can see, it gives us some typical patterns such as interchangeable letters, spellings to represent etymologies, appended E, consonant patterns, etc. It doesn't have everything on it, but it has a whole range of things that you might want to look at. In addition to that, you have your Language Change Workbook, which has got example questions in it, as well as some model answers for question 1A, B, C and D. And very importantly, your scrapbook portfolio, which has got a collection of data that you can use, and you can pick out unusual spellings and identify word classes and archaic spelling patterns in those texts. The key here is to do exactly what the question asks you to do, which is, as I've said, identify the word class, spelling pattern, and use terminology. So if we look at the first example, we can see that it is coming, and it looks unusual, and straight away, I suspect you can probably tell it's not how we spell coming in present day English, is it? So say what you see. What's the difference here? Well, you've got a double consonant as opposed to a single consonant in present day English. What's the word class? Well, you can usually tell by looking at the suffix here. For example, as you can see, it's the verb coming. Coming. This is the participle, and it's a present tense participle, which is a continuous tense. It's as you can say, it's not finished. It's not a finite verb. It's continuing. So you would say something like, coming is a verb with a present tense ing participle ending. It has a double consonant preceding a short vowel. Well, present day English would use a single consonant. Yeah, so you're saying the word class as specifically as possible, identify the spelling pattern, and say how it differs from present day English. Similarly, as you can see here, throat. Throat, as you identify straight away, would be a noun. If you can be really precise about it though, it's a concrete noun. It's not a concept, is it? It's not happiness or love. Yeah, so it's a concrete noun, and it's a common concrete noun. It's not Sir Throat or Mr. Throat. So it's a common noun. So a common concrete noun. And what's going on? Well, it's got this appended E, hasn't it? Appended E, a feature, is common in early modern English. And that's it. So you identify the terms, and then you give some examples of how it works. If you want to do revision on this, then I suggest you use the early modern English text we provided, use your scrapbook portfolio texts, find spellings and do the same question as we've just done, and in particular learn your word classes and get used to describing spellings with precision.